Tim and I worked together at Premier Realty. When my daughter started high school, I wanted to find a part-time job. Tim and his wife lived 2 houses down from us, and we often spent evenings together at neighborhood parties. When I announced my intention to look for work, Tim arranged an interview for me. Although I mainly work in the office and Tim usually goes out to meet clients, he gradually seduced me. At first, I brushed off all the little compliments he gave me to make me feel sexy, but soon I began to look forward to them and appreciate them. I never intended to have an affair, but it happened. The combination of his mischievousness and his skill as a lover, who gave me the most explosive orgasms of my life, was enough to make me cheat on my husband again. Now we use my husband Sid's trips as an opportunity for forbidden adult entertainment. No one gets hurt, and no one is deprived of pleasure in the bedroom. Slowly getting dressed, we talked about the kids, school, and vacation plans. When he left the bedroom, I turned on the shower. I hadn't even gotten my feet wet when Tim burst into the bathroom and quietly closed the door. "He's sitting there with a gun!" "What are you talking about? Who has a gun?" "Sid, he's in the kitchen with a gun." "Oh, shit!" I quickly threw on a robe. "He's supposed to be in Washington. I talked to him this morning." "He's not in Washington, and I don't think we're going to survive." Did he say anything? No, I don't even know if he noticed me. I watched him for a few seconds. He was tapping the gun handle on the table and staring into space. Damn it! What should we do? My panicked response was useless. I don't know. I don't know. My head was spinning. My heart was pounding. I didn't think Sid was a violent man. Yes, he had a gun, but I couldn't remember the last time he'd been to the shooting range. We have bars on our windows. It's not that we live in a bad neighborhood, quite the opposite. Our neighborhood is so affluent that it attracts thieves. Better safe than sorry. We installed a security system after our neighbors lost nearly $100,000 in art and jewelry. I doubt we have that much, but probably not much less. Sid is a very successful investor. All I could think about was calling the police. If he came up the stairs looking for us, we were done for. 911, what's going on? My husband is sitting at the kitchen table with a gun in his hands. I'm afraid for my life. Where are you calling from? I'm hiding upstairs. Is anyone else with you? Yes, my friend. I've dispatched a unit. Can you let the police in? No, I can't get past him. I see. I'll let the police know. What is your name and your husband's name? My name is Polly and his name is Sid Barrett. He's supposed to be in Washington. Okay, let me guess. Your friend isn't supposed to be there? I paused to gather my strength and replied, yes, that's right. Good luck. The police may call you back if the situation drags on. Please don't hurt him. I can't promise that, Polly. Damn it. My heart stopped. Tim was hiding in my closet. I heard sirens approaching. I tiptoed through the bedroom and looked out the window. A patrol car with 2 officers pulled up 1 house down from us. Wearing bulletproof vests, they approached my front door with their guns drawn. The doorbell rang. A loud knock on the door drowned out the echo. I watched as one of the officers crept past the garage. We have a sliding glass door that leads to the backyard. From there, he could probably see Sid. The bathroom adjacent to the master bedroom has a window that overlooks the backyard. I tiptoed over to the window, which was open a few inches. The cop behind me covered it with the barrel of a large ash tree. He spoke quietly into a device attached to his collar. The situation remained the same. I quietly returned to the window facing the street. A second squad arrived. 2 more officers. This time they brought automatic weapons. I could only think of one thing. Please don't hurt Sid. Why didn't Sid let the officers in? God! Had he already hurt himself? Tears filled my eyes. One of the officers with an automatic weapon rushed into the yard. At that moment, I heard the loudspeaker. Sid Barrett, drop your weapon and come out. No one will get hurt. All I could hear was my own rapid breathing. There was no sound coming from the house. "Come on, Sid, give up!" The megaphone came on again. "Sid, can you hear us?" I quietly returned to the bathroom window. The police were talking on their radios. The officer with the rifle replied, "He's just sitting there banging the butt of his rifle on the table. Sounds like a Glock." "Don't shoot," came the reply. My cell phone rang. I answered in a whisper. "Hello? Polly, this is Captain Mandrell. Does your husband have any mental health issues?" I replied quietly. "No, nothing like that. He's not an aggressive person and would rather shoot himself than hurt anyone." "We have to take safety precautions. If he doesn't put the weapon down, we'll have to neutralize him." With a lump in my throat, I pleaded, "Please don't hurt him." The loudspeaker continued. "Sid, raise your hands if you can hear us." A minute of silence passed before the officer's radio crackled. "Take his weapon." Before I could comprehend the meaning of those words, a white cloud of smoke erupted from the rifle. The sound broke my heart. They shot Sid. No one moved. The officer said into the radio, "The weapon has fallen from his hands. He's not moving. He may be dead. Approach with caution." I couldn't hold back a scream. "No!" With rifles and pistols at the ready, 2 officers stepped into the courtyard. I lost sight of them. Making my way to a window facing the street, I saw an ambulance and 2 more police cars. The crowd rushed to the front door and I heard noise on the first floor. My cell phone rang again. "Polly, you need to get down on the floor. Your friend, too. We'll be upstairs soon." "How's Sid?" "He's in a catatonic state. Get on the floor, now!" I screamed. "Tim, get on the floor or they'll shoot you." The closet door opened and Tim threw himself onto the carpet. I felt the bedroom door open. The hinge creaked slightly. "Don't move!" After searching us, they helped us to our feet. "My husband! What have you done to my husband?" "He's alive. They're loading him into the ambulance." At that moment, sirens wailed, and they drove away. Please let Sid be alive. When I went outside, I learned that they had knocked the gun out of Sid's hands. He didn't react, just sat there and stared. There was a wound on his arm. The bullet had gone through the kitchen window, shattering the glass. They had also kicked the door open from the garage into the house. The police took Tim's statement, and then he left without looking at me. His wife was yelling at him, and I doubt their marriage will survive. When I was questioned, I tried to answer honestly, at least about why Tim was there. It was over an hour before I was allowed to leave to check on Sid. The hospital staff was friendly, but no one gave me any meaningful information. It was several more hours before Sid's attending physician gave me the latest news. "Mrs. Barrett, I'm Dr. Schaffer. In addition to losing a finger on one hand, your husband has suffered a traumatic brain injury. This is usually caused by severe shock. What happened at your home today?" "Sid apparently left this morning for a meeting in Washington. A gentleman came to my house, and when he was about to leave, he found Sid sitting in the kitchen with a gun." "Is it possible that Sid saw you with your friend, and that provoked the attack?" "It's possible. I was having sex with my neighbor." "Did Sid know about this relationship?" "Not as far as I know." "Almost certainly, he discovered you and decided to kill you. Shortly after he found the gun, he must have snapped." "Is Sid responding in any way?" "Visually, no. He responds to electrical impulses, but that's all. Most of his responses come from the brainstem, not from cognitive functions." "Can I try talking to him?" "If you don't mind." Dr. Schaffer led me into Sid's room. "Sid, I love you," was all I managed to say before Sid opened his eyes and started screaming like a baby with colic. It was a high-pitched, continuous scream. Dr. Schaffer immediately covered my mouth with his hand and pushed me out of the room. "I'm sure you're the cause of Sid's mental disorder. What you did was beyond his comprehension." It was difficult to call my daughter. Rhonda and Sid were very close, like father and daughter. She is a junior in college. Last summer, she broke up with Paul, her high school boyfriend. He wanted to try other women, and Rhonda, having tried other men, decided she would spend her remaining 2 years in college making up for lost time. Paul had repeatedly tried to rekindle their relationship, but to no avail. "Hi, Mom. I saw you called a few times. What's wrong?" "It's your father. He had a severe epileptic seizure and is now at the university hospital under observation." "My God! When did this happen?" "This morning." "In Washington?" "No, at our house. I don't know why he wasn't in Washington." "Can I visit him?" "I don't know. They won't let me into his room. He doesn't respond when I try to talk to him." "Mom, I have an important exam tomorrow. I can't leave, but I have to be there if he needs me." "Honey, he doesn't recognize anyone right now. Stay and take your exam. I'll tell him you wanted to be here if he becomes more responsive." My new life began. The first few weeks were the hardest. I fell asleep in tears, knowing that I had caused Sid pain. Checking with the hospital staff to see if there were any changes in Sid's condition was very depressing. He sat, stood, or lay alone, and didn't respond to anything except the recorded sound of my voice. His frightened cries tore my heart apart. What had I done to him? Would he ever forgive me? Even 8 weeks after the accident, he screamed when he heard my voice. They tried visual stimuli, but even when Sid was shown my photo, his brain showed almost no response. It took time to sort out the finances. I cut back on all non-essential expenses. The loss of Sid's income began to weigh on me, and I had to draw up a budget and stick to it strictly. Depending on our insurance and how long it lasted, I would have to start liquidating our investments to make ends meet. Weeks turned into months. Sid was admitted to the psychiatric ward of a treatment facility. Insurance covered treatment for up to 3 years, so time passed. I changed jobs, mainly to be around people who didn't know my past. If a man started courting me, I rejected him with complete hostility. My first job didn't last long because I had anger issues. After a few anger management sessions, I learned to control my emotions. I'm pleasant to talk to, but I become cold if someone flirts with me. Men understand this signal, and I can do my job in peace. Gradually, Rhonda learned that Sid had found Tim and me at the house. I lost my daughter, at least for a while. 10 months and a few days after the incident, Sid came to. The doctor said that Sid was no longer responding to my voice. I couldn't wait to see her in the psychiatric ward. "Sid, I'm so glad you're better." "Who are you?" I froze in shock and felt the blood rush to my legs. "I'm Polly, your wife." "I don't think so. If you were my wife, I would recognize you and feel butterflies in my stomach. You probably look like someone I knew, but I don't remember loving you." He turned away as if he didn't want to talk to me. "Sid, don't say that. We have a daughter. I love you and you love me." "I'm sorry, I don't remember loving you. I heard you mention children. Did you say we have 1 or 2? The nurse pulled me by the arm and led me out of the room. "Give him time, Polly." I've seen reactions like this before. I went into Sid's room several times during the day. His reaction was completely neutral. It was as if we had never met. He treated me the same way he treated the nurses. Unfortunately, he rejected all my attempts to do anything that the nurses didn't do. It was as if Sid had lost all memory of me. Rhonda flew out on the first flight and arrived in the middle of the night. After a few hours of sleep, she went to visit Sid. I tried to warn her that he might not recognize her, but my heart was breaking. Sid recognized Rhonda and was overjoyed. I watched them from across the room. Sid expressed his shock at losing 10 months of his life. They hugged, they kissed, they hugged. I cried. Raising his right hand, he asked Rhonda, "How many fingers do I have on my hand?" Rhonda told him about the shooting. They laughed, hugged, and kissed again. Tears streamed down my face. "What happened to your mom?" Sid asked. She's still alive, Rhonda replied, but you probably wouldn't recognize her. You know, I've been trying to remember her name, but even when people say it, it doesn't mean anything to me. Polly, right? That's right. Did they show you a picture of her? That's another strange thing. They tell me that even a few minutes after they show me a picture of her, I forget her face. Tears streamed down my face. His brain wouldn't let me exist anymore. I meant less than nothing to him. Rhonda's hurt look only intensified my pain. Rhonda resumed her relationship with Sid. I stayed out of it. I was like a nurse assigned to take care of him. A week after returning home, Sid resumed his daily bargaining. When I learned that my conversations with Sid had also disappeared from his memory, my heart broke again. I was at a crossroads. Was it worth the risk that Sid would eventually recognize me? That risk also meant that Sid could relapse. Not wanting to jeopardize Rhonda's future with her father, I left. With the help of Rhonda, who was helping Sid with financial matters, we decided that I should file for divorce. Sid signed the papers without discussion. The monthly alimony was more like pocket money. Unfortunately, Tim is the last person I've had sex with. I don't want anyone but Sid, but I doubt that's possible in the future. My life consists of hard work and regular conversations with my daughter. I still see Sid from time to time, but the fear of relapse keeps me at a distance. My selfish decisions have forced me to live in my own hell. Rhonda doesn't want me to come over when she's with her father. I've sadly accepted that I can't have a relationship with Sid. Every day gets harder.